I believe in America. I believe in the people of America. And I ran for office because I'm concerned about America. This election is over, but our principles endure. I believe that the principles upon which this nation was founded are the only sure guide to a resurgent economy and to renewed greatness.
And you can see this morning on Wall Street trying to sift through the winners and the losers after the election. Barack Obama in for another 4 years, Mitt Romney out. Might one of the losers be Wall Street itself, though? Actually, Lawrence McDonald, author of the book A Colossal Failure of Common Sense, is here with us. How do you think Wall Street fares now that Barack Obama was reelected?
Well, what's bizarre is a lot of industries over the last, since the first debate, a lot of industries have been outperforming the S&P 500, so they've been pricing in a Romney victory. Financials have been acting really well. They were only down 2.5% from the highs, while the S&P was down about 4.5%. The coal names, especially,
right,
those had rallied brilliantly. In terms of Wall Street, it just... If Romney had been elected, you would have really seen a crystallization of the future of Dodd-Frank, and now, because the House will fight the president tooth and nail, because
Dodd-Frank was a big reform bill passed in the wake of the financial crisis. Romney and most of the Republicans were pretty much against it.
Yeah, and in my career, I talk about this on my website. My website just got named by the Journal as one of the top sites, lawrencegmcdonald.com. But
nice plug.
Well,
there you go.
Thank you, guys. But when you have a lack of visibility on a sector, it's amazing how it suppresses valuations. So you look through our lifetimes, whether it be cigarette names or asbestos names. In the case of the financials, the financial values, the book values have been suppressed because over the next 12 months, people owning these stocks, they don't understand what the future is. Like companies, like big banks, can't make decisions on hiring because they just don't know the future of Dodd-Frank.
But now, I think do we know the future? I mean, Obama's in. It's not going to get overturned. It's not going to get thrown out. Do we know the future now? Do we just start planning?
If Romney had won, you would have known a much more clear course of the future of the financial space. The biggest thing I see, and if you look at Buffett, he's made this big bet on housing. The home builders, I think one of the home builder ETFs is up 70–80% year to date. So people have been looking at this election at maybe really a GSE bill for 2013, 2014.
But the government-sponsored enterprise,
Fannie and Freddie.
Fannie and Freddie.
Because right now, securitization, which is a very powerful lending tool, the securitization levels for auto loans are back to 2007 levels. Credit card receivables, those levels of securitization are back to 2000, so they're back to the old highs. But homes, in terms of securitized mortgages, they're way back. They're at the lows. So you have all of this lending that's not coming in to the housing sector, and people thought that if Romney had won, he could have worked out a GSE bill. And from what I'm hearing, the Obama administration, at least for the near term, the chances of a successful GSE bill are lower now, and I think any housing-related sectors in the short term will suffer.
So has the issue become, Dodd-Frank was passed, it was written into law, but they're still trying to hash out the details of it, right? Does the issue now become this sort of death by 1,000 cuts where the financial industry, they throw a little lobbying money around and they try to get these rules watered down? And is it just going to be that kind of a slow churn that we don't know? Is that the problem?
Well, you look at Elizabeth Warren. She just became a senator from Massachusetts. But the first thing that the government did was they looked at this Consumer Financial Protection Bureau.
And the banks probably aren't happy about having her around, right?
Oh no, she's going to be on the Senate Finance Committee. That's a good point. It's a big negative because the Senate Finance Committee has a number of very extreme Democrats on it, and you really worry about the Senate Finance Committee is one of the committees that will actually structure bills in finance. So you want people to be able to work together there, and people worry about people. Elizabeth Warren.
You were at Lehman Brothers. You lived through the financial crisis. You've seen Dodd-Frank. Did we get enough financial reform? Did we get the right reforms? I mean, that's really the big question in my mind.
I've been talking about this on my website. The problem is when you look at 60 Minutes to the piece, Lehman in 2008, the SEC, the Securities Exchange Commission, was inside the building for most of the year. The problem with financial reform is it's like an 8-lane highway. Some cars are moving 20 miles an hour and some cars are moving 90. The cars that are moving 90 are the least important for the financial crisis. In other words, the politicians have taken Dodd-Frank and taken this massive brush around the financial industry. Instead of being focused on what really caused the financial crisis, they're going after credit card companies, and just a very broad brush instead of being really specific around not just leverage, around prop trading. I mean, that really hasn't been addressed yet, or credit default swaps.
So the bottom line is Obama's back in, Dodd-Frank's not going anywhere, but a lot of small issues now.
It's just poorer visibility for the financials.
All right, Lawrence McDonald, thank you very much.
Thanks,
Author, A Colossal Failure of Common Sense. That's the book. There you can see it right there. Thank you very much.